Behind me, what used to be a basketball court is now home to families affected by Typhoon Hener. Currently, the local government is moving them to yet another evacuation center. Hello. Good morning. Hasmin, good morning po.
Eh, kung hindi ka rin naman kikita, ano talaga yun?
Hirap pala. Nababaha.
The framework really right now is determining what are those drivers of climate change. Second is that the framework involves how to make the people resilient to these changes and when is the proper time to do it. You'll be surprised that there are a lot of initiatives of government that were there before and wasn't really taking into consideration and planning, and we have to admit that. Not only national government agencies, but even local governments have done their part in addressing this. Even the civil society, you'll be surprised that they've already done some support and work with the local communities that we need to bring in also to the table so that it could be part of the national planning process.
Policy-wise, we have done so well in terms of addressing climate change. In the past, we had the Solid Waste Management Law and the Clean Air Law, among others. Most recently, we got the Climate Change Law, the Disaster Risk Reduction Management Law, and the People's Survival Fund Law. What policy gains we have in addressing climate change, we so lack in population and reproductive health. For 13 years now, a bill on reproductive health and population development has been pending in Congress, mainly due to strong opposition from leaders of the Catholic Church and anti-RH lawmakers.
As of now, in the absence of a national policy on family planning and reproductive health, I think the government is weak in addressing this problem. That is why it is a good step on the part of the present administration to help in the enactment of the reproductive health bill. I think this bill, once it becomes a law, would be able to solve or help solve many problems of this country, and among others, it would be in the forefront of mitigating or making adaptations with respect to climate change. What the PLCPD is espousing, and which we are also espousing, both members and members of PLCPD in Congress, is that we should be able to afford couples and parents the opportunity to exercise the reproductive health right of freely and responsibly determining the number and spacing of their children. In other words, the central idea of the reproductive health bill is freedom of informed choice.
With the trend of the localized impact of climate change, local government units are in a strategic position in crafting policies and programs addressing reproductive health, population, and climate change links. Fortunately, the Philippines has a lot of good practice in doing so. LGU efforts, however uneven, give us a glimmer of hope that we can in fact do something about the situation.
Alaminos relatively is a very young city. In fact, we are the youngest city in the province of Pangasinan, one of 4 actually in the province of Pangasinan. Population-wise, we are about 18,000 families. And most of these are basically farmers. Halos 4 hanggang 7,000 bahay yung nasira. Yung totally damaged, about 4,000. Ito po yung Cosme at saka Emong na tumama po sa aming lungsod na nangyari sa loob lamang ho ng 1 taon. Itong 2 bagyong to hanggat ngayon meron pang meron pang hindi pa, may mga pamilyang hindi pa naka-recover, no. Lalo sa agricultural sector. We have to rebuild not only those houses but those communities, di ba? Pero yung pinaka long term na effect ko nito, yung sa kanilang kabuhayan. So, yun ang recovery yung medyo matagal. Ano kasi sa kakulangan na rin ng kapital, Siyempre. Even the city suffered a lot. Kaya dito, meron kami mga, yung in the short term, siyempre yung waste management, segregation, kasama yan. Short term yan. And we convert yung mga biodegradable into organic products, yung mga non-biodegradable naman into brick. Ang long term ito, yung Adapt a Mountain project namin. Ganon din yung mga mangrove parks namin. Kasi meron kaming Adapt a Mangrove Park program dito. Kung dati-dati, yung mga mangingisda na walang bangka, na namimingwit lang, hindi makahuli pagkain ngayon, hindi lang sila nakakahuli pagkain, nakakahuli pa ng pambenta. Di ba? Yun yung immediate effect. As a matter of policy, yung Disaster Risk Reduction Management Committee namin, nakaset up na. Almost zero na yung mortality rate namin when it comes to yung sa birth. Of course, we have identified or pre-identified health centers na kailangan namin bigyan ng tamang equipment ngayon para yung pag nanganak yung mga nanay doon sa mga health centers na yon. We have several scattered along the city. Yung edukasyon, yun ang isa sa mga long-term na solusyon doon sa problema. Di ba, ng mga bata na, siyempre, pangarap namin umasenso rin yung kanilang buhay.
Strategic concerns require strategic approaches and sound policies. Our achievements in crafting policies and programs addressing climate change are worthy, but these have to be coupled with concrete action steps, especially in assessing and addressing our vulnerabilities. However, no amount of climate change adaptation efforts will succeed if we remain unable to address population challenges, bearing in mind what people opt for themselves. A healthy and economically stable people will have better capabilities to face the threats and impacts of climate change, the choice to live in safer places, and the bigger capacity to cope with the impact of disaster. The challenge is upon us, and clearly there is no way we can set aside issues that threaten the lives of our people, our families, and our very own.
Yung mga vulnerable sectors, kaya sila vulnerable because they cannot afford to be somewhere else and they have to be there. And government will have to take care of them. But hindi lang yung usapin ng kawang gawa eh. Diba? But by empowering them to be a part of your economic system.
Are we going to be afraid of these changes? We shouldn't. What we should be afraid of is that despite knowing this, we don't do anything about it. We know those areas should not be considered as a good location for people. Take them out. So if we have a good governance, a strong political will to really understand this, then maybe we can be able to avoid, if we can't avoid, at least reduce all these impacts of changes in climate.
I think we could not confront, mitigate, or adapt, make adaptations with respect to climate change without incorporating in the policy population management and reproductive health. I think there should be a continuing study for more legislation to address the problem of population and climate change.
Kung sa akin, siyempre magulang ka, siyempre may pangarap ka sa mga anak mo, di ba, na makatapos mo lang sila ng ganitong kurso para hindi sila matulad sa amin na alam nila kung gaano kami kahirap ngayon, nakikita nila.
Kung sakaling bigyan nila kami ng matitira na pupunta pa rin kami sa kung saan kami galing kasi doon lang kami nabubuhay ba. Kasi kung doon kami sa paglilipatan na gutom pa rin kami.
panahon pagkakataon, may babalik ka.